What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back in F1 23 and we are at Suzuka. And firstly, before we get to the track, we need to look at some sponsorships. We have a sponsorship renewal, so hopefully we can get some more cash, but we've just gone and said, let's keep that old sponsor. Now, in terms of activities for the week, we want to put in a lot of effort into our team. We want their morale to be boosted. And now we have to focus on our development. We are still trying to develop this car to make sure we're able to fight the guys at the front. I mean, there's a 25-point difference between first, second, and third. So we have the opportunity to potentially still win the driver's title for F1 23. But we need to focus on development. Hopefully we can get in the right upgrades at the right time to give us that performance boost. And now, before we go to the track, we also get told that we get a new sponsor. So we are able to bring in more income to the facility. So this is going to be great for us. So that's what we do. We add in a new sponsor, get in some more cash, and now looking at the sponsors, I think we need something that's not going to be too difficult for us to achieve, and that is actually achievable. Now, knowing that our car is in a fairly good state, we also have to keep this in mind. So I think what we are going to do is we're going to take the sponsorship where we get pretty much, we need to do 75 laps during the race weekend. We've got a teammate, we've got us, and then we've got practice programs. So it is highly achievable. So this is what we're doing. We're going to go with the sponsor. We get a nice bonus if we do achieve it. Now, going through to the weekend, we can see practice is clear and quality is clear, but the start of the race is wet, and this is not what we wanted to see. We do not want to see a mixed race because it makes the setup a lot more difficult than what it needs to be. And it also puts a lot of pressure on us because if you get it wrong, you might end up being very slow in the beginning of the race, and towards the end of the race you might be quicker, but you never know if it's too late at that point. And that is why practice is so important. Now, going to practice, we have our race strategy, time management, and qualifying pace. So what we are going to do is we're just going to head out on a pair of hards, run a couple laps, try a couple setups, seeing what works for us, and hopefully we can fine-tune the setup just to kind of make sure we get everything out of this car at this track. I mean, it is it's a high downforce track, and as we were going through the laps, we did end up getting faster and faster. We've clipped the grass there. We were honestly a little bit shaky on the turns because it just felt like we weren't nailing them the way we wanted to. Now we'll go onto our race strategy, putting on a set of medium tires. The first lap was amazing. We set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, Hamilton did ruin our party and he took the fastest lap, but he is on a pair of soft tires. Now, the second lap of the race strategy was not very good. We need to improve this, and we did. On lap 3, we improved on our previous lap. Lap 4, we did also really well, and now lap 5 was also not so bad, but the car didn't feel great. It felt a little bit twitchy. At some point, it felt like I had a lot of oversteer in some of the corners. So what we will have to do is actually sit with the setup, see if we can make a couple improvements here and there, and hopefully we kind of just blend with the car. We become one with the car. Now we are going to go onto our tire management setup or our tire management program. We're leaving all our soft tires for practice too, so we can just run qualifying races and get some sim data for qualifying. And now the first lap for our tire management was good, but not optimal. Second one was not optimal and not good at all, but the last one was perfect. We ended up having low tire wear. This is what we wanted, and this means that we've achieved everything that we wanted for first practice, so we are going to end it here. We are having a look at our data here. Charles Leclerc came in first, George Russell second, and Sergio Perez third. We were seventh fastest, but we're not too worried about that because we didn't really run any quick strategies. We weren't trying to be quick in this session. We were just trying to fine-tune the setup to help us become better for the race. Now, we are going to go on a pair of soft tires in the beginning of the session. The reason why we're doing this, we just want to kind of gauge where we are on the soft tires. We're not pushing at any point. It is a 130.8. It's not as fast as what the guys were putting in Q1, in practice one, sorry. Now, what we will do is at the end of the session, we are going to go out on a qualifying sim. And here, we actually did really, really well. I was quite happy with the time that we put in. We put in a 129.1, a lot faster than our previous best. It does say the projected position is first, but you know, everything changes. Qualifying is a different beast. And that is it for our practice programs. Our teammate is currently running in 13th spot. He did a 131.1. He is 1.9 seconds off of our pace. So we definitely have a lot more pace than our teammate. And now we skip practice 3 and we're heading through to qualifying because we've done all our programs. We've got everything that we needed, and we feel strong enough and capable enough to tackle qualifying. Hopefully we can get pole position. Will we be able to manage it? Will our teammate be able to make it out of Q1 and into Q2? Could he get it all the way to Q3? And now you can see we are going to go on our flying lap. We are going out right in the middle of Q1. And here we go. Let us ride on board for this lap. Into turn 1 we go, trying to carry as much speed as possible, but also trying to keep it as close to that corner and making sure you get a good exit out of turn 2. Now, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is probably the trickiest part of the Suzuka track because if you nail this, you can gain a hell of a lot of time for your lap time. Now, approaching turn 8 and turn 9. Here, you want to get good exits, again carrying as much speed as possible. We've just set the fastest first sector. Approaching turn 10 and 11, this little hairpin. What you want to do is you want to shift down to first gear, get a good exit out of turn 11, and you're going to carry all of that. It's going to give you a lot of time for the rest of the lap. Turn 12 is a long corner, then approaching turn 13 and hit the brake just ever so slightly. Now trying to carry that speed around turn 14. Now, the best part of the track, this little sector here, this is your third and final sector for Suzuka. Turn 15, then approaching turn 16 and 17. Heavy braking zone, making sure you get good rotation onto your car. Get a good exit out of turn 17, turn 18. DRS wide open, and where does it put us? It puts us 6th spot. That is our lap time. We skipped the rest of the session because there was not enough time. We weren't able to go out for another lap, but it was a 129.3. We are 5/10 off the pace. Mark Webber has made it through to Q2, and it was a good lap. It was a good lap from us, but we can do better. There is still a lot of time in the car. We made a few mistakes here and there. We are going out. We're just going to set a banker time on a used set of soft tires, and let's have a look. What is it? It is a 129.4, so not too bad. It is a 10th off of our Q1 lap time. We should be able to put a big and strong lap in for the final lap of Q2. Will Mark Webber be able to make it out of Q2? We don't know. We are now on the start finish straight for the Suzuka track. DRS wide open, approaching turn 1. Again, carrying as much speed as possible. Turn 2, getting a good exit out of here, keeping it as close to that corner as possible. And now your series of S's over here. Turn 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It is very fun when you get these corners right. You can see we have made up a little bit of time. end of sector 1. We have put in the fastest first sector. Now approaching turn 9, making sure you get a good exit out of turn 9. Now getting through turn 10, 11, again, heavy braking zone, downshift to first gear, making sure you carry a little bit of speed and get in a good exit out of turn 11. Turn 12, not too much, not too technical. George Russell has just put in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. I've gone a little wide on that corner. Now, Charles Leclerc has just put in the fastest lap. We need to see if we are able to make up some more time. We are 5/10 up at the end of sector 2. Sector 3 now. We are approaching turn 16 and 17. Can we nail these series of corners to gain even more time than what we have? We are almost a second up on our previous best. 7:10. We are dropping a little bit. And here we go. Where are we? Where have we made it out of Q2? And we have. We ended up P4. This has set us up for a good Q3. Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Max Verstappen are your top 3. Unfortunately, our teammate has not made it out of Q2, but that's okay. We at least have an extra car going out. So this is going to be important. Can we use everything in the car that we have? Usually we set in monster second sector times, but have we saved it all for Q3? Let's see. Okay, at the end of our banker time, we put in a 129.8. Not as good as Q2, so this is something we need to have a look at. Now, we are going to go out for our final qualifying lap at the Suzuka circuit. Here we go. We are driving out of the car. We usually drive out for our last lap just because we can kind of control the our tire temperatures ourselves. But yes, DRS is wide open. Let's focus on this lap, the final lap for the Suzuka Grand Prix. Where are we going to end up? Now you can see how much speed we are carrying through turn 1 and turn 2. We are 2/10 up before the series of S's. Can we gain even more time by nailing these corners? And we can see we are already 5/6 up on our previous best lap time. This is what we want to see. We have set the fastest first sector. Now, turn 8, turn 9. Getting a good exit out of turn 9 helps you gain a lot of time. We are 1 second up before we get to this little hairpin turn. Getting good exit out of here. We are 1.2 seconds up now. Approaching turn 12. This is our long corner. We have really nailed it. Qualifying has been completed, but no one else has set in any big lap times. This could be good for us. 1.1 second up. We've just come out of turn 14. Approaching the end of sector 2. Have we put in a personal best or the fastest second sector? We have put in the personal best for the second sector. Just coming out of turn 15, approaching turn 16. Can we gain more time than what we had in our previous lap time? A little bit on the curve there, not what we wanted. We are 1.3 seconds up. We have just finished qualifying, and where does it put us? It puts us P3. This is amazing. This is what we wanted. We are super happy with the result. It's not pole position, but we have a good chance now for this race. Let us have a look at what the rest of the grid have done. Lewis Hamilton has put in the fastest lap. He is starting on pole position. Max Verstappen second. We are starting third. Carlos Sainz fourth, and Charles Leclerc fifth. So it was a great qualifying, but we also need our teammates to start stepping up. Maybe they just don't feel as confident as we do in the car. But again, looking at those times, we were 4/10 off of the pace. But let's not waste any time. Let us dive into this Grand Prix.
We come to you live today from the Mie Prefecture in the south of Japan's Honshu Island for a race that has seen many title deciders over the years. Some simple, some controversial, but all contributing to a legacy that makes the Japanese Grand Prix an indispensable stop in any Formula One season. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at a wet and windy Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with Sector 1 likely to prove especially difficult in these conditions. We should see overtaking into turns 1 and 16 today, maybe a few Kobayashi-style dives into the hairpin as well. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Iceman completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Bottas, Verstappen, Ocon, Albon, Webber, Perez, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Joe, Ricciardo, Sargent, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's talk about Iceman. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
And there you have it, guys. That is the classification for the Suzuka Grand Prix. Max Verstappen has gotten a 10th place grid penalty. This is what we needed. This is what we were hoping for, because he is our main champion rival besides George Russell. But Max Verstappen is the big bad that we are trying to overcome in this championship. Let's have a look at where we end up. It is 5 lights and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix at the Suzuka circuit. It is not the best start that we've ever had, and Hamilton manages to get away. There's a little bit of contact between myself and Carlos Sainz, but we need to keep focusing. Luckily, there is no damage. We just need to manage the tires to get through this wet stint. Hopefully getting through all the way to the dry set and just trying to dominate the Grand Prix from there. But here we go. We are now only getting to the end of Sector 1. Carlos Sainz is 5 tenths behind us. Hamilton 6 tenths in front of us. Can we do anything at this point? No, because there's no DRS. We don't have the tires. The setup might be against us. Carlos Sainz is putting a lot of pressure on us. We almost had a moment going into turn 11. Carlos Sainz almost overtook us on around the outside, but it's okay. There's yellow flags. We don't know why. Maybe it is just all those cars going through turn 11. Now Hamilton has gotten away from us just so slightly, 1.3 seconds before the end of lap 1. This is not what we wanted. This is not what we want to see. We want to be fighting Hamilton. We want to be up there fighting the Mercedes because we have a championship to win. But this all also depends on how Max Verstappen is doing. So hopefully by the end of this lap or by the end of this Grand Prix, we have at least gotten closer to Max Verstappen. Only time will tell. Let's focus on this. Hamilton has just put in the fastest lap. Carlos Sainz is still breathing down our neck. Lap 2 of this Grand Prix. Now going on to lap 3, we are trying to get back, but Hamilton just keeps increasing that lead on us. It's now to 2.2 seconds by the start of lap 4. 2.6 seconds by lap 4. 1.7 seconds behind is Carlos Sainz, George Russell coming in P4, and then Charles Leclerc in P5. These tires are not doing well. They're not performing the way I wanted to. We are really struggling on these tires. We don't know what's going on because we don't have grip. We are sliding around. We're struggling to keep the car on the road. Could this be the setup? On lap 6, Hamilton is 6.3 seconds ahead of us. Oscar Piastri has just DNF. He has not gone. He's just out of the Grand Prix. We get a virtual safety car. Hopefully we can cool our tires down because they do look like they are overheating. Our tire temperatures are way too high. We are underway for the Suzuka Grand Prix yet again. But this means that Russell is now really breathing down our neck, trying to pressure us into making a mistake. We need to keep our head. We need to keep cool in these situations. Luckily, we don't have DRS at the moment, otherwise we would be a sitting duck. This rain has helped us out just ever so slightly. We are using up as much overtake as possible, trying to get a good exit out of these corners and making sure that we make it difficult for the guys behind us to overtake us. Lap 7, Hamilton is 8.5 seconds ahead of us. Russell is still trying to pressure me, trying to force me to make a mistake, but we're keeping it cool. There you have it. Look at those tire temperatures. This is why we are struggling so much in this Grand Prix. Our tires are overheating. We are working against a lot of things. The tires are against us with this setup. This is not good for our race. This is not good for our championship because, like we said at the beginning of this race, Russell has just gone into the pit. Was there a little bit of contact between myself and Russell earlier on in the lap? That's why we're going in. We just got the call from our engineer saying that rain is going to end soon. So what we are going to do is we're going to be proactive. We are going to react to this. We're going to put on a set of dry tires. The track is drying up fairly quickly. Hopefully we can now get a jump on these guys and actually perform better than what we were hoping. Hopefully we can maybe even get closer to Hamilton because he was 16 seconds ahead of us by the time we came into the pit lane. Can we claw back some time? On lap 14, everyone now is still on the intermediate tires. Lap 15, we have gotten this wrong. We have only now started to put in decent lap times. We have absolutely botched this strategy. We have absolutely botched it. We have thrown away a good race where we could have potentially won the Suzuka Grand Prix. Lap 17, we are now sitting P7 where we were P2. Gasly ahead of us. Alonso in P5. Max Verstappen is 8th. But we managed to get past Gasly. We dived down the inside of Gasly. Now the next set of cars, we need to try and overtake them. It looks like it's Norris, Alonso, and I think Leclerc. Max Verstappen has just put in the fastest lap. We are slowly getting faster. And here on lap 18, Alonso and Leclerc battling into turn 15. Alonso has just overtaken Leclerc. Can we dive down the inside like we did in that Gasly? Yes, we do. Trying to avoid all contact, and we make it. We have managed to secure the next position. We got P5 for this Grand Prix. Lando Norris has just put in the fastest lap, but we had a bit of oversteer. This is not good because now Alonso is gonna run away with this race. Max Verstappen has also just overtaken Leclerc. We need to protect ourselves from Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz has put in the fastest lap. Norris is second. Alonso is third, and unfortunately Hamilton has DNF. That's why he's not leading the race anymore. Hamilton ended up having an engine failure and he was out of the Grand Prix. So Carlos Sainz effectively became the leader of the race. Max Verstappen tried to overtake me on the inside of turn 15. Has this caused any damage to his car? Is this potentially going to be a repeat? And yes, Max Verstappen is in the pit lane because Charles Leclerc has also overtaken Max Verstappen. And this is music to our ears. This is what we wanted to see because we want Max to lose as many points as possible in this championship so we can get closer. Can we take this championship all the way to the last race? That is going to be an exciting race if we can. But let us not think about the future. Let us focus on now trying to defend against Charles Leclerc. We are going to save up all of our energy for the last sector, making sure that Charles Leclerc cannot overtake us. We need to defend like our life depends on it, like this championship depends on it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Unfortunately, Alonso is 13 seconds ahead of us, so getting onto the podium is out of the question. There's no chance that we're going to get it unless some sort of miracle happens and he ends up DNFing at this point, but highly unlikely. Here we go. As we approach the final few corners, turn 13, turn 14, making sure we get a good exit out of turn 14. ERS, wow, using up all of our ERS. No DRS at the moment. There's only one DRS trap, and that's on that straight. Carlos Sainz has won the Suzuka Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is not able to overtake us. We're going into turn 16, turn 17. We are still holding on to 4th place. ERS, everything getting left on the table, and we do secure P4. This is good for our championship fight. We have just taken some more points out of Max Verstappen, but how much? Because we don't know where he has ended up in this for this Grand Prix. We don't know where he is, so let us have a look. Your winners for today's race. Good job. Well done to Ferrari. Well done to Carlos Sainz for winning the Grand Prix. Alonso on the podium. He ended up in P3. And Lando Norris, possibly our next teammate, has come in. Second place. What a lap. Max Verstappen ended up in not even P15. Wow. Our teammate ended up P12. Unfortunately, George Russell also ended up P13 with a bit of early contact, I think, in the beginning of the race. Now let's have a look at the standings. Where are we? We are still 3rd, but 11 points behind Max Verstappen, and we are closing in on that championship. But guys, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. You know what to do. Hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, see more content, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Cheers, guys.